Welcome to Trestle Tactics, a tips from Trestle short. We wanted to know what's going to make our podcasts more valuable to you. And the answers were simple. You want easy to implement tactics and strategies that will let you create an outstanding experience around your senior living food and hospitality programming. So let's dive in right now on today's Trestle Tactics. On today's Trestle Tactics, we're going to talk about key performance indicators and why they're important to your operation. I want to go through 4 key areas around KPIs that are really going to help you embrace them and be more successful with them in the long run. So first, let's dive in and let's understand what is a KPI, or a key performance indicator. A KPI is simply a metric used to measure the performance of your organization or a specific function, such as food service operations. This is really important because it lets you kind of track day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, what's happening in your operation with hard facts and data, and not just your gut and hunches and guesses. The second thing that's important to note about KPIs is that there are lead indicators and lag indicators when it comes to KPIs. A lead indicator are metrics that measure the current performance of an operation and can be used to predict future performance. Things such as food cost percentage, labor cost percentage, etc. Those are going to help you as a lead indicator. A lag indicator are metrics that measure the overall performance of an operation. Things such as resident satisfaction, occupancy rate, for example. These are things that you're going to measure after they happen. So that way you can see, are we improving? Are the things we put in place helping us get where we want to be, and let you kind of continually push your goals forward? The third thing that's really important about key performance indicators is that you got to make them smart. And what do I mean by that? Well, smart means that those smart KPIs are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So whatever the area of focus is, just make sure that they are measurable through the right data collection. They're achievable. You've got realistic goals that are available, and make sure they're relevant to the performance and objectives you've set for you and your team. And then they've got to be time bound, right? You don't want to have a KPI that's just kind of lingering out there, right? Like, do we measure this daily? Do we measure it weekly? Is it monthly? You've got to have that time specific piece. That way, you know, hey, are we hitting our goals? Are we meeting the measurement the way we want to? The last thing I want to mention about KPIs that's going to be really important is to avoid KPI overload. And this is simply having too many KPIs to manage, and it becomes too difficult to really focus on what's really important and making the right data-driven decisions. Now, there's so many data points in a food service operation that this is easy to do. So you want to make sure that you prioritize, well, what's our big focus? Are we worried about food cost? Do we need to focus on labor hours? Do we want to manage our waste better? Pick 2 or 3 at most that are high level, high priority, and make those your key KPIs that you're focusing on. And once you feel comfortable that you're hitting those, you can continue to measure them, but then move on to some other goal and some other KPI that you want to focus on. This will let you make sure that you not only are getting the right, accurate data, but also that the team responsible for tracking can be properly trained and have the necessary resources and time to do so effectively and consistently. So those are the 4 key areas around key performance indicators that will help you be successful in implementing them and improving your overall food service operation. We'll talk to you soon. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Trestle Tactics. Be sure to like and subscribe on any of our channels, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you listen to us. Also, be sure to follow us on any of your social media channels at Tips from Trestle. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode of Trestle Tactics.